My name is Parker Cook. I am the owner-operator of Basil Bloom, a mobile pizzeria. We are based out of Rigby. I grew up in Idaho Falls, though. I've lived here my whole life. I own the business with my wife, and then I'm also the main, employee, if you want to say that. But yeah, operator. So pizza maker, dough maker. Basil Bloom launched officially. We had our grand opening on April 29th this year, 2022. Creating something from nothing, essentially, and having people enjoy it's been very humbling, and we're happy to be here. We're happy to serve our community and provide something that we don't think they can get anywhere else. I've been cooking pizza at home for, I want to say, 10 plus years, starting with my home oven. I studied culinary arts in college. And so I've always been passionate about cooking. I love it enough and to the point where we started considering maybe this is something we could sell. My family's very entrepreneurial. That's our second business that we own. And so when we're passionate about something, we like to try and outside of like just wanting to share the pizza with everyone because I think it's tasty. Finding a way to monetize it and make a living off of it was also was something that we wanted to try out and do. I think the biggest challenge running the business is it's really a personal kind of thing. It's that imposter syndrome where you make a product and you put it out there and you hope that people like it. And even though we've gotten great feedback over the summer, it's something I still struggle with. Is, I look at every pizza and I think, is this good enough? I hope this customer likes it, and try to make it as best I can. And then I get reminded when we have customers come back week after week after week to get the pizza that it's good. But that's been the biggest struggle for me, is that kind of personal, internal, am I doing good enough? Struggle. What sets us apart, I think, is my background as within the culinary arts. I worked as a research and development chef for 5 years. I was a food safety manager and specialist during those 5 years as well. I think that brings just a different perspective on the pizza compared to the other pizzerias in this area. I think especially it shows in our specialty pizzas. We offer ingredients that I don't think you find in many other pizzerias. On top of that, like, we're mobile, we can go anywhere we need to, and then we also use a 100% sourdough crust. It's a way to inject flavor into the pizza that you don't otherwise get. And with Neapolitan pizza that we focus on, it's all about the crust. You want the big fluffy crust. You want that crust to be flavorful, because the toppings, while they're also delicious, they're more a complement to the crust in itself. And so focusing on the crust with the sourdough, that's why we chose to go that route. So we got our dome. I pre-ordered it the minute they were available. I got my first one that I use at home, I want to say October last year, 2021. And really put it through its paces. And we ordered the two that we use in the trailer before that one was even delivered. We were thinking about doing a trailer beforehand, just using Roccboxes. I've had my Roccbox for almost 7 years now, and it's still kicking. I don't use it as much now that I have the dome, but as soon as they announced the dome, I told my wife, I was like, this is the time to do the trailer. I've been using one consistently for almost a year now. I think Gozney as a brand, they understand what not just a home user needs, but they're also focused on their customers who want to use their products in a professional setting. You can tell from the Gozney products that they're just a step above everything else. As far as their design, the dome is absolutely gorgeous, the color choices and just the way it looks. That's one reason why I designed our trailer the way I did, with the drop down ramp and pushing the ovens out, is because they catch so many eyes when people are just walking by. As far as the build quality, the materials are fantastic. The domes have so much insulation that I can cook pizza after pizza after pizza after pizza, and the air temperature won't drop, the stone temperature stays consistent. And so you'll find with smaller ovens or other brands that aren't as well insulated, you do 2 or 3 pizzas and then the bottom of your pizzas aren't getting cooked because they've sucked all the heat from the bottom of the stone, or from the stone. And the dome, I haven't had issues with that. And I know that I knew when we pre-ordered the dome that it was going to be similar to the Roccbox and as the build quality and the materials. And so that's the main reason why we love the domes, is just that we can serve 100 pizzas in 3 hours and the pizzas come out consistently. I'm a very function over form kind of person. It could look like a cardboard box, but the way that they cook, it's like you can't understate how important that is, how the heat retention is, how the air temperature and the insulation of the domes is a step above everything else. It makes me happy to cook a pizza and give it to somebody and have them say like the pizza's great. I don't need anyone to say our pizza's the best they've ever had. That's not what I'm going for. But to have someone just enjoy the product and like it, and you know, it's a cherry on top to see customers come back just because they want to try something new. And that makes me really happy, because my number one goal is to obviously create a good product and do that. But it's just like, I just want to make the next pizza better than the last pizza that I cooked. And so being able to use a dome to fulfill that desire to make a product, have people enjoy it, but then also see improvement in myself at the same time, that's what makes me happy at the end of the day. Just make one pizza better than the pizza before it and just constantly improve. Any person beginning their pizza journey, I think you need to be patient with yourself. It's hard making a pizza, especially in a high heat oven. When you're cooking at 900 plus degrees and you have 60 seconds to make your pizza, there's very little room for error. And so I think it's just being patient with yourself, giving yourself kind of that grace period to figure it out, and don't be too hard on yourself. I mean, I've made over 3,000 pizzas this summer, cooked them all in the domes, and I mean, every day I burn a pizza. So I think my number one piece of advice is just to be patient with yourself. Take the time to get your dough down, and just, if you're gonna burn a pizza, it's just dough, it's water, flour, and yeast. And so try again, keep going. Don't stop too early, because I think the rewards of creating something yourself and using a product like the dome to do that, it's really fulfilling, being able to make that style of pizza at your house. And but yeah, just be patient with yourself would be my number one advice.